Hey guys, I'm Daniel Norton here in my studio in New York City with Erica.
Hi.
And today we're going to talk about probably the most used, but maybe sometimes the least interesting to some people, a tool that photographers have, right? Is the softbox, right? I think we all end up buying a softbox when we're first starting. It's like you get a kit, it comes with a softbox. And you look at that one, lighting diagram that somebody drew in 1975, where they put the softbox at a 3/4 angle, like, this far away and this, and you shoot it like that, and it's boring, right? It's fine, right? But it's the thing that people do with the softbox. In this video, I'm going to kind of just show you a bunch of different things you can do with the softbox. Because remember that once you understand what a light can do, you can create all kinds of different looks. So for this, we're just going to go super simple. I just put a black background up, so we're not worried too much about that. I'm just going to use the one light source, and even though I'm in a daylight studio, I'm going to set my camera so that none of the light in the space affects my shot. We can see that I already have taken a couple test shots. I have a black frame at my settings, which is f8, 1/1/60th of a second, 100 ISO. So then I'm just going to use the softbox to create light. I guess I'll do that first. 45 thing first, right? Because that's the thing, right? That's what they teach you in photo school, I guess. I don't know. They didn't teach me that in photo school, but this is what people do, right? They basically, you set this up, eye level, 45 degree to the front. Okay, I'm just going to use TTL here to get my exposure. There we go. And there you go. Done. We'll come back next week with, that's your basic softbox shot, right? But there's so much more to a softbox than that. It's nice, you can do that and that works, but let's go a little bit out of the norm, right? So here we are, right? The softbox is this distance to get that coverage, to get whatever. But when you think about light, right, one thing you want to think about is how close or far away you are from it. The further away your light is from your subject, the harder it's going to be. So even though it's called a softbox, right, we can make the light relatively hard by backing it up. So I can actually back it up. See, I didn't plan for this, so hopefully I don't go off the camera too far. Yeah, I'm going to back it way up over here. I think I'm just at the edge of the frame still. All right, so this is pretty far away, right? This is not generally what you're going to do with softbox. Because we're in TTL and because of the situation, it's probably going to get a little confused, so we might have to do a couple tests to get the exposure, but I'll take a shot and we'll see what it looks like. Maybe it'll be right on. The trick to TTL, oh, did two of them. There we go, right? Now we've got a light that's much harder, right? We can see that it's like punchier, it's a little bit more directional. It almost feels like light in a space, right? It almost feels more natural. It's a little low, which is actually how light usually is in places, but if this is a photo, we gotta be nicer than how light would be, right? So let's raise our light up a little bit, right? Because we don't want our light, am I still in the shot? I'm probably not in the shot. Yeah, I am, I'm there, I'm right here, yes. This is like, the bottom of the box is over Erica's head for sure. Right, and now we're creating light that's kind of coming from above. We can see the angles of it, right? It feels a little different. It feels a little punchy. It feels like possibly window lights. The other thing you might notice is the background's getting some light. The black background's getting some light on it as well. Work towards it a little bit. Yeah. Good. Right? And now we've got light that kind of it gives us a feeling, right? It's in a certain space. But what if we take that same lighting setup and we move it in closer, right? We move it in closer, the light's going to become softer. I'm going to just lower it a little bit because I don't want to run to the ceiling here. Now we have to consider the spread of our box, right? I can't put it too close because it'll go over our head. So I have to think the light comes out of the box like this. So that should be good. Going to go like that. I reset my exposure compensation because I moved the light, so I'm assuming, yeah, TTL usually does a better job when you're closer. Look at the dramatic difference between this, right? They're pretty much the same angle, but one is further away. It has more coverage on her face, right? And less fall off. Here we have this like sculpting light that really shapes the face, right? And we can see it falls into shadow. Here, it's a bit more like punchy, right? If it's far away, so it's harder, right? This is where you can really see the difference. Also, because it's further away, the inverse square law, applying the inverse square law, I should say, not just, you don't just say the inverse square law. Unless you're a photographer, we just say that all the time. The inverse square law. We can see that this part of her face is actually lighter. You might think, that doesn't make any sense because the light's closer to her here. Why would that be? The closer the light is to somebody, the quicker it will fall off. So we're using that quality of light with our softbox to create two different looks, right? Hard and punchy, kind of sporty, and more soft. Now, let's say that we were doing this for a catalog, right? Let's make it practical. This first one might be good for sportswear, right? Somebody's in, what do they wear to the gym these days? Short pants?
Two-piece like thing.
Yeah, she's in like a thing, maybe she's doing some weights or something. And the light's a little, it's still soft, right? But it's punchy. This maybe is a little bit more kind of dinner gown, kind of dressy, right? It has that feel, right? And you can create both of those feels with this one source because you're understanding how it can change based on where it's positioned. So just putting it closer, further away, raising it up and down. And actually, let's just do that. So let's lower the light and we'll see how bad it looks. Because what's gonna happen is as we start to lower the light, it's going to start to look, it's gonna actually be more true probably to most where windows are in most people's homes, but it's going to start not looking as good in photos the lower we put it because the light will start to feel like it's coming from below. But this should be a good height here. But when we start getting lower, I think we're gonna start getting odd shadows. Yeah, see, like this is kind of like semi-normal. See, the shadow's still going slightly down. We're a little hot on that exposure. Dial down the TTL a bit. Ooh, a little double tap there. I'm double tapping a lot today. Right? Nice. Angle is good. Let's go lower. As we start to lower our light, it's going to start to look a little bit less natural, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just a different style. Right? You see that? Now it's starting from below. So it's got that feel, right? I mean, I hate to say horror movie because I know that Seth will yell at me if I say horror movie, but that's what people think of. It's like unnatural, right? Or maybe it's romantic. Maybe we warm it up and she's got a glass of champagne in her hand. Maybe she's at a table, right? It's being lit by candles, right? So if we want to have that effect, we want our light to be low because candles on your table are going to be low. And we can think about that when we're setting up our light to have that kind of mood that we're trying to make. Here, I'll make it a little bit warmer because that's what Daniel's going to do. So yeah, look right at me, maybe like, oh yes, thank you for buying dinner. It's actually McDonald's, but whatever, right? And now we have this like softer, prettier look, right? We can warm it up. I'm gonna warm it up kind of the wrong way by just adjusting the Kelvin, just so you guys can see. We add a little warmth to it, and then it has this kind of feel, right? So we're getting all these different feels, all these different looks from the softbox, just simply by changing its position and its height relative to our subject. And we can get so many different looks. Like every one of those frames is different, right? Well, except for the double tap. I double tapped once. And we can get a lot of variety. And I think that's it, right? When we take a piece of gear and we think, okay, the softbox does that first thing, now let me buy something else. That's maybe the wrong approach to lighting, right? Not to say you shouldn't buy stuff. Buy stuff, it's Adorama, right? But you know what I'm saying? Not that you shouldn't be getting more gear, because it's obviously each piece of gear is going to be specialized and be used for different things. But remember, you can get the most out of your gear, right? A softbox can do a lot, so we really want to get as many looks out of it as possible. And of course, we have to end by doing my favorite thing, which is the light from the back. So I use this a lot. I oftentimes take softboxes and put them more or less facing the camera. I love this style of light. It's good for shaping the face. And again, it works very, very nicely with a softbox. It's going to give a kind of that cutout look. It's moody, depending on what you're going to do with it. You can get all kinds of different looks by putting it back there, right? Adding more shadow, adding more texture. Let's come this way slightly with it. Let's turn it like this. Let's have you look this way more. And good, right? And we can basically change it up. Just getting that hint of light on her eyes, creating that mood, right? A little depth. Of course, we left that warmth in there, but it's actually working. So there you go, right? So many different looks with the softbox, so many different ways to do it. It's a great tool. So if you are just starting in studio lighting and you don't know what to start with, something like a 2 foot by 3 foot softbox is going to be ideal for you because you can get a lot of different looks, get a feel for light, learn how the position of light makes all the difference in the world, then move on to other tools. So I will put Erica's information in the description so you guys can follow her. Be sure to follow me, Daniel Norton Photographer. Subscribe to Adorama TV and ring the bell so you get all the notifications. And I'll see you next time on set.